Hey everybody, it's Tasty Thursday again. Now, on Tasty Thursdays we normally do a football food, and this could be a football food. We're actually going to make homemade granola bars, so if you wanted to do this for football, that would be fun. That would be a little sweet treat to your football buffet. So we have just a couple of ingredients, and I will note that you're going to need your adult assistant to help you because part of this does require using the stove. So you'll want to ask nicely to be sure they'll help you, and maybe you can have them taste test then too. Okay, so what we need is some granola, and this is just granola cereal. Mine has raisins in it. We need some rice cereal, like crisp rice cereal. We need honey. We need butter. Some mini chocolate chips, coconut, and in here I've got my brown sugar. Now you'll notice that, or I don't know if you'll notice or not, I already have on our stove, my butter is melting, because I have to get this melted first. But when you're measuring butter, if you take a stick of butter and just cut it in half, that's exactly how much we need. That's 4 tablespoons. Okay, so to our melted butter, we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. And that's almost exactly what I have left. Guess it's time for me to go to the grocery store, isn't it, and buy some more brown sugar. I'm going to dump that in there. And then we're going to also add 1/4 cup of honey. This is going to be kind of the glue for our granola bars. Now I mentioned the coconut and chocolate chips. I know that some of you don't like coconut, so you can leave that out. The coconut and chocolate chips are basically the finishing touches. The things that you really need to be sure you have are the granola cereal and the rice cereal, and then these ingredients that we're cooking together now. So my honey is being slow to come out, but I'm almost to 1/4 cup. There we go. So we're going to just put this in our pan, or ask your adult assistant to put it in the pan, and mix it up. And what you're going to do is, I have mine on medium-high, and we're just basically going to cook this until the brown sugar dissolves and you can't tell that it's brown sugar anymore. It's going to kind of all look creamy. So you can see that we're a long ways from that point. This will probably take about 2 or 3 minutes to actually boil and get to that point. So I'm going to let this cook for just a minute. You want to watch it kind of carefully because you don't want it to burn, because then it gets all icky and gross. And so I'm going to just watch this, and we'll be back in 2 to 3 minutes and we'll make up the rest of our ingredients. Okay, our brown sugar honey butter mixture is perfectly cooked. So what we're going to do now is actually turn our stove off, and we're going to add our other ingredients. So I'm going to take our granola cereal, and again I'm using just the kind that has raisins in it. I think it's actually cinnamon raisin granola. It's really good. I usually have it with yogurt. It's one of my favorites. You're going to add 2 cups of the granola, whatever kind you choose. And just pour that right into our cooked mixture. Put that aside. And now we're going to take our rice cereal, and we're going to add 1 cup of that. Now, if you decide to add other ingredients, like if you want to add nuts or like lots of other ingredients besides just your chocolate chips and coconut, what you'll do is just reduce the amount of granola you put in. So if you put 1/2 cup of something else, instead of 2 cups of granola, you're going to put in just 1.5 cups. So we're going to just stir this around. Oh, I forgot to put in our coconut. So we're going to put in 1/4 cup of our coconut. Let's see, here's 1/4 cup. Just scoop this out here. I got this cool new flexible measuring cup. That's 1/4 cup. We'll just dump that in. And you want to just mix it around. You could also add dried cranberries or blueberries or any kind of dried fruit you want. You would add that at this point. The only thing we're not going to add at this point is our chocolate chips, and that's because we're going to put those right on top. So just be sure you get all of your ingredients mixed in well. It smells really good. Now I made a practice batch of this the other day and I added some butterscotch chips to mine and it was really good. And what I thought too would be yummy is instead of using that batch as granola bars, if I crumbled it up and used that as ice cream topping. I haven't tried that yet, but that's an idea that I have for the future because I think that would be delicious. Okay, so we're going to let that sit for just a minute. And what we're going to do to lay our granola bars out, they're not really bars yet, but they will be. You just take a shallow pan and you want to take some saran wrap or plastic wrap like this and spread it out into the bottom of the pan. This just helps the granola mixture not stick. Okay, so then what we're going to do, your adult assistant might have to help you with this part if it's hot, but you might be able to just scoop it in. We're going to just put our mixture right onto our saran. You can just slob it in there because we'll spread it out in a minute. Now the key to great granola bars is to not making these too thick. So you don't want to use a pan that's too small. This pan is about, I think it's 9 by 11. And that will give us the perfect number of granola bars. Okay, so we've got all of our mixture in our pan. Now we're going to just spread it out into every corner. Ooh, it smells delicious. I think you'll really enjoy making this recipe and eating it too. I know I've enjoyed snacking on the batch that I made the other day with the butterscotch chips. I've been having that as a morning snack about 10:30 every day. I'll have one of these homemade granola bars and I quite enjoy it. Okay, so just pat them down here. You can kind of see our raisins peeking through from our granola cereal. Now this is the point at which you're going to add your chocolate chips or whatever other ingredients you decide. So let's see here. That's about right. So we're going to just sprinkle them on top of our granola bars. Perfect. And you're going to take your spatula or spoon that you used to spread them out in the pan again and just lightly push them down. You want to just get the little chocolate chips stuck into the mixture while it's still kind of mushy. There we go. Okay, that's great. Now you're going to loosely cover the rest of the mixture with saran wrap. Ooh, here's a piece that fell out. I think I'm going to snack on this. And then we're going to let this sit just the way it is for about 15 minutes. So in 15 minutes we'll come back and we'll take our granola out of the pan and we'll cut it into bars. So our granola is all set up and ready to cut into pieces. So all you do is just take your plastic wrap off the top, and you want to do this on this part on a cutting board. Now I leave a little bit extra over the edges to hang on to because it makes this next part easier. You can just pick this whole thing up and put it on your cutting board. And now what you'll do is just kind of lift up the edge here and take the plastic wrap away, and you're left with this. Now, if you're super hungry, I guess you could eat this granola bar. This is a gigantic granola bar. Do you think Taste Tester could eat a granola bar this big? I don't know, maybe if he was really hungry. Okay, so I'm using a really sharp knife. You don't really have to. I just don't have a long knife that is sort of a butter table style knife. So what I'm going to do is just make cuts. Now you can make whatever size bars you want. Something else that would be kind of cool is I can hear it cutting through the granola. This smells so good, you guys. Something you could do is if you take this out, or not take it out, if you decide to cut it a little bit sooner than I did, it was about 20 minutes, you could actually, it would be soft enough that you could use cookie cutter. So if you wanted to serve this for a football game, you could make little football shaped granola bites. That would be really good too. Okay, so I've got my long bars. Now I'm going to just, oops, maybe I'll turn my cutting board, that might be easier. And I'm going to just cut them in half. And we have chocolate chip coconut homemade granola bars. with a few raisins in it from the granola. So what I'm going to do now is just put them in an airtight container. And I just like to leave these sitting on my counter. They're the perfect snack when you are in the mood for just something in between meals. It's a great snack, and it's a healthy snack because you know exactly what goes into it. Even though we do have chocolate chips and brown sugar in here, at least we don't have a bunch of ingredients that we don't even know how to pronounce. And I bet if you look on the back of your granola box bar, there are going to be some ingredients that you don't even know how to pronounce. That is not the case with these guys. So I've got our container almost filled up, and I'm going to put these on the counter. Chocolate chip on my finger. I'm going to go wash up these dishes and see if Taste Tester would like to try a homemade granola bar. See, we get a lot of them. It's great. I'm so excited for you to try these. I think you are going to absolutely love them, and so are your football fans.